This is the 7th grade homework for the week of September 25th for ESL reading and ESOL 2 students. It's 2 units. The first unit is about Elizabeth Blackwell, MD. Before I begin discussing about Elizabeth Blackwell, I would like to say that you should read the passage, annotate, make notes about what you're reading, underline words you do not know, and look them up. When you get to the actual questions, make sure you look at all of the options before choosing an answer. Cross out the ones that are incorrect and then make the best choice between what is left. The first passage is about Elizabeth Blackwell, MD. Elizabeth Blackwell was a female in the United States, and a Dr. Elder, William Elder of Philadelphia, wrote a letter, and he discussed her possibly becoming a medical student in America. She would be the first woman to become a medical student in America. This was in 1847. The interesting thing about this passage is that Elizabeth Blackwell went to school. She earned her doctoral degree or her degree in medicine. After she became a surgeon, she was working at a hospital and she contracted an illness that affected her eyes. So once she was actually practicing medicine, being a doctor, her patients stopped coming to her because she was sick for so long, or she was blind in one eye for so long. So after this, and when she didn't have any patients, she decided that she was going to start a class for physical education for girls. And one of her students was so impressed with her that she became her first patient. So eventually she got more patients, and then she opened her own practice. And so she was a doctor in her own office for a while, and she ended her career by teaching at the New York Women's Medical College. This is a good read. You should enjoy it. A picture of her, I have a picture of her. This is Dr. Elizabeth Blackwell. This is Dr. Elizabeth Blackwell. The other person that you're going to be reading about in Unit 2, her name is Nellie Bly. But Nellie Bly is her pen name. When we say pen name is the name that you give yourself to write under. Many writers choose to have a pen name for various reasons. O. Henry had his pen name as O. Henry because he had been to prison several times. We will read a story on him later this year. He had been, not several times, but he had been to prison before, and he didn't want anyone to not buy his books or his stories because of his history. Let me show you a picture of Nellie Bly. Nellie Bly is a complex individual. Nellie Bly is known mostly for her traveling around the world in 72 days. And she did this for a reason. I'm going to explain her reason in just one moment. This is Nellie Bly. Nellie Bly was originally named Elizabeth Cochran Seaman. She was born in 1867 and she died in 1922. And her pen name, she had a pen name, and probably because of her lifestyle. She was a female supremacist, a white supremacist, and an American journalist. She did this trip because of a fictional character in a book that was published shortly after she was born in 1872. The fictional character's name was Phileas Fogg. Phileas Fogg was a part of a group called the London Reform Club, and some people in that club invited him to participate in a bet. And the bet was to see if he could travel around the world in 80 days. And he was to receive, if he won this bet, and he traveled around the world in 80 days, 20,000 euros. And the 20,000 euros is equivalent to $20 million in 2017. On his trip around the world, he met a woman who was having a funeral for her husband. He saved her life, and she began traveling with him and along with his servant. Eventually, they kind of became fugitives, because when I say fugitives, meaning they were running from the law, because he was suspected of robbing a bank. So the same rules apply for this second passage about the adventurous Nellie Bly. Make sure you read, make notes, put question marks also by the things that you don't know and understand. And in addition to that, answer the questions. There's 5 questions. Make sure you choose the best answer and get rid of answers that couldn't possibly be the right choice. And choose the best answer between the remaining choices. Thank you.